Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Can you believe it? This week is just flying by. Oh. There's something I haven't updated. Boom. 591. 591 models painted. On the year. Already. It's crazy. And I've already started on the next 6. For those of you who have been asking for a very, very, very long time. Very, very long time now. We have started work on Callus and Toll, the Saviours of Cinderfall. So these two are now Warhipster battle ready. This one's next. And then we'll do the other 3. It's quite a difficult video to film, this one, because it's it's 6 very different models where there's not a lot of crossover really between a lot of them. I mean, there's some things like black trousers or whatever, but in order to keep the video concise, it's basically a case of 6 painting tutorials in one video, which is fun. Comes with its own set of challenges, but there we go. Tattoo Zoologist with 1 gifted Warhipster membership already, straight off the bat. Incredible. Thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate that. Mr. Closet Spider. Sure is. I'm barely at 20. 20's a good showing. Hey, look, any models is good. Any painted models is good painted models, you know. I had a little panic to myself yesterday where I was thinking, if I didn't have a YouTube channel, how many models would I actually have painted this year? I don't know. But this is all I do all day, every day, so, you know, I get to do quite a lot. Hi, Chris. How you doing? Hello, Madison. The Man. I've been in the hobby a month going through your Necron and Stormcast playlists. Love all your stuff. Thank you very much, William. That's very kind of you. I try and do 1 model a week at least. That's a good turnover. That is a good turnover. For some armies, that's an entire army in a year. For others, it's not. But yeah. So tonight we're chatting and hanging out, really. Realistically, that's the majority of what we're doing tonight together. However, I need you guys to help me with a decision. A decision that I need to make as to what the last 2 miniatures I'm going to paint this year are going to be. So after the Saviours of Cinderfall are done, we will be on 597. We already know that model number 600 will be Fulgrim Transfigured. I've already confirmed that. That's already happening. There is no question of that happening, okay? Model number 600 will be Fulgrim Transfigured. It feels auspicious. It feels the right time. It feels like the right number. However, there's 2 models left. I'm so glad to hear that. I know, Cameron. I've been looking forward to painting it, and now I know it's happening. Number 600. So basically, you guys just fire those last 2 models at me, Uh, Justice for Bard's family with the £5 super chat. There are 3 models you could choose 2 from, and we know you will love them. Okay, I am not having model 598 and model 599 be 2 of the worst models Games Workshop has ever made. I'm not doing it. Because then it means I have to paint the 3rd. And if this model number 600 is any of those miniatures, I will be really deeply upset. Are you counting the old lady's cat? No, because it's all on one model. It's all on one base. If it was on a second separate base, then yes, but we're not. A simple Moon Clan grot. Just the one. Just a single solitary grot. What are the potential options? Well, so we have built. We have Shalaxi Hellbane. We have Dexessa, Talon of Slanesh. We have I think that's it in terms of built. Yeah, that's it in terms of built. But stuff that we could do, we also have Nagash. We have Gordrak. Gordrak is another option, so do the cabbage. We have Mortarion in Horus Heresy form. We have... What else have I got? Kairos Fate Weaver. That's another potential. 2 bits of terrain. So no small models, I see. Well, okay. So there's a lot of small models we could do, right? For example. There are things like I'm looking at small ones now. There's things like Horus Heresy Praetors. We have stuff and things. I have a Laukavai, Mother of Nightmares. I have what's his name? Radikar the Beast. I have that. We do have Ungrim. Ungrim is an option. We have Grombrindle. Have you done Horus Heresy Araman yet? No. Horus Heresy Araman is here, primed and ready to go. So Horus Heresy Araman is there as an option. Painting question. Any thoughts on why my Black Templar comes out more black and less grey than yours? Do you add some water in the brush or maybe more matte primer on my end? I can't use spray can. I'm not entirely sure there. If I use Black Templar straight out of the pot, I don't do any thinning unless I say in the video it's mixed down with a certain amount of Lamin or contrast medium. It could be that how old is your pot of Black Templar? That can also be a thing. Can I throw Gandalf into the ring? Looking forward to a tutorial for him with how well the Minas Tirith minis models came out. Gandalf the White on horse on Shadowfax. Thing is with Gandalf the White is Gandalf the White plus Pippin plus Gandalf on foot plus Pippin on foot. And we're talking about model number 598 and model number 599. Gandalf's there for Minas Tirith. No one likes Pippin. That's true. Did I hear Grombrindle the White Dwarf? Yeah, Grombrindle White Dwarf, the one with the 500, the one with White Dwarf 500. Yeah, we do have that one. He is built and primed. Mine is a year or old or so, also decanted into a dropper. Maybe that has affected it. So it might be the age of it, and also it might be all of that, the decanting of it. You might have lost some of your lighter pigment. You might have moved a lot of the heavy pigment over, but some of your lighter pigment might have been left behind, perhaps. Because contrast paints are basically made up of two different weights of pigment. At least something like Black Templar is, where you have a heavy one, which is the black, which goes into all the recesses, theoretically. And then you have the lighter one, which is the grey, which stays on the panels, theoretically. Right? As your paint ages, and as you use it more, to be fair, you use more and more of the light than you do of the heavy. So as it gets older, if you ever notice this, when you've got less and less in the pot, it feels the shake of it feels a lot heavier. It's because you've got nothing but the kind of slightly gloopier, heavier pigment that's left in the pot. That is something that can happen. Hopefully you haven't glued him onto Shadowfax. I haven't. No, he is loose from Shadowfax. Pippin is. Collected Warhammer when I was like 11, stopped at 12, and just got back into it 2 months ago at 26. I spent 4 to 5k on models and paints, 100-ish models, and have painted 4. That's impressive work there, Mr. Cypher Dragon. It's what we all went through. We've all been through that exact same thing. It's a fairly traditional thing that I think a lot of hobbyists go through, and that they do step away for a long time. You generally get hooked in around the sort of the mid-teens. Then you discover, guitars, for example, and you have a little bit of a break, and then you come back. And when you come back and you've suddenly got expendable income, you're like, ha! There are no longer any limits on what I can buy. I will buy all of it. Going well, digesting the new 40k changes. Oh, yes. Yes. That perfect game. Perfect game that has no problems whatsoever, but constantly has loads of new content added into its simple system. I found a guy quitting the hobby and sold me like 6k worth of new in-box stuff for 2.5k. Oh my goodness. I envy you guys to be able to spend that level of cash on this thing. If only. If ever I spend that much money, it's because I need to buy a new camera or upgrade the PC or something, because YouTube comes first. I am doing great, brother. Finally joining after a long meeting. Welcome, Colonel. I'm a little old granny and hooked to painting. Dexessa and Mortarion are my favourites so far. Oh, that's wicked, Maureen. I've got a Dexessa to paint. Again, this could be model 598. Oh, I do have a War Mumak of Harad as well. That's worth pointing out to everybody at home. Problem with the War Mumak of Harad is it also comes with 12 Warriors of Harad. So that would be 13 models. I have £130 in a shopping cart and can't justify it to myself. Yeah, I feel that. You guys know how much Warhammer I have. You guys are aware. And how little time I have as well. I do have an announcement. Oh, it's not an announcement as such. What we did is either the cabbage or Shalaxi I vote for. Nice. Basically, I bought a box of brutes and I bought a war boss. So Project Spearhead will return very soon once we're past 600 models. we're gonna get a start on the next spearhead. So sounds like you may as well aim for 650 for the year and do all of them. No, Pritters, don't make me. Anything over 600 is bonus, right? Anything over 600 is bonus. I will only set this to 650 if the universe forces me to do it. And I know how I would do it. Legions Imperialis! So Cameron, are you saying what you want? If I'm going to do Project Spearhead, are you saying what you want is you want to see Shalaxi Hellbane at long last? Of course, naturally, I understand that. But also, Gordrak, Fist of Gork. Will there be a second annual Titan 24-hour stream on New Year's? No. There will be a stream on New Year's. It won't be a 24-hour Titan stream because my one is nowhere near close to being built, and I don't quite have the time now to do it. It would take me the rest of the month, I think, to get the Titan ready. Sexy Hellbane gets my vote. Nice. Specifically, I would like it to be a white and black cabbage, as that's how I really want to paint my new one, and I'm not sure how to do it. Well, unfortunately, GameX, if I'm doing the cabbage, I'm doing Gordrak, and Gordrak is a box art model. I don't have multiple cabbages. But we can talk about how you do a white and black one. Do you have Brand's Oathbound lying around by chance? I very much do indeed, Evar Greyfists. I do indeed have Brand's Oathbound lying around. They're over there. They're hanging out with Fulgrim Transfigured. They're actually further along than Fulgrim because they're primed. I just ran out of time to do them at the time when they came out. But anyway. So. It seems like, I mean, keep firing those suggestions at me. 598 and 599. Like I said, we are doing the Saviors of Cinderfall. I thought you would all be more excited about that. No. I hoped you'd all be more excited about that. But it is what it is. Anyway, 2025 is coming. And we saw a preview today. Of some sonic weapons for the Emperor's Children. So we know that that's coming next year. But 2025 is rapidly approaching. It's the 11th of December already. There's 20 days left of 2024. So my question to all of you out there, chat, is what are you excited for in 2025? What are you hoping to see? What are you afraid of? I'm afraid of a lot of things, but also I am afraid of what's going to happen to the Space Wolves. If indeed they come out next year at all. I've never really been sold on the Ironjawz yellow and would love to see more niche brutes like Crypt Boys or Sky Bashers. I can understand that. Afraid of my wallet when the Krieg Siege cannon comes out. You and me both there, Sly Guy 77. I'm afraid the Grey Knight release will just be a foot hero. Grey Knights are an interesting one, aren't they? Because Grey Knights, I think so far have come out quite early in an edition. In 8th edition, they were like the 4th book out, something like that. And similar again in 2nd edition. In 9th edition. The fact that it's taken this long for Grey Knights to come out can mean one of two things. One, they know it's a bad release. And that you're literally just getting a plastic version of Kaldor Drago. And that's it. Or Grey Knights are getting the full Monty. Scared for my wallet once they drop the new Git mob models. Yeah, they look good, don't they? I hope Space Wolves doesn't get the Blood Angels treatment, but at the same time, if Blood Angels are the only ones who got stripped down, I'm gonna be sad. Well, yeah. So, this is the question, isn't it? This is the big question: is what is going to happen to the Space Wolves? Because if it is as ruthless as what's happened to the Blood Angels, that Space Wolves Codex is about to get real light. Looking forward to the Iron Jaws Spearhead box. Afraid that GW will stop supporting Spearhead and Warcry as game formats. Nah, they're definitely not going to do that. At this point, Spearhead is baked into all of the battle tomes. It will continue to be baked into all the battle tomes going forward. They won't just drop it. They would have to have made the decision that they were going to drop Spearhead like a year ago, basically. Not in the previews, but looking forward to painting/building/play more Seraphon. That sounds awesome, Blethyn. I did get your email. I need to send you your prize. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. It's on my list of things to do. I had to get those bloody rattlings done though, and my brain was not letting me do them. I was getting really frustrated with myself, just sitting here going, paint the silver, paint the silver, paint the silver. Do it. And then I finally did it. But so the rattlings are done. Hence why we're now on 591. You are hereby forced. Thank you very much. 650. That's yeah. 650 models. I mean, I could shoot for it. You'll have to do better than that to force me. I will now half consider it. Thank you, though, universe. 666, the number of the beast. Are you telling me that you want... Are you telling me that you think I should delay Fulgrim Transfigured to number 666 and somehow find it within myself to paint 68 more miniatures this year? 67 more miniatures. And I bet if I was to say, yeah, sure, I'll paint a bunch of Legions Imperialis stuff, everyone would say, well, that doesn't count, Josh. You suck. They're not real miniatures. I painted 60 Legions Imperialis Tactical Marines. What do you say about that? Oh, dearie me. Whilst there is only a minor change to the models, I am looking forward to the Eldari, where my entry into the hobby back in 2nd edition, so I'm starting a new year, new army to recreate my Ulthway. Oh, nice. Nice. It's, like I've said, there is minor changes to the Eldari. I'm not the biggest fan of it, as you guys know by now. And actually, I saw a really good review of the new Secret Level episode that just came out for Warhammer 40k. So a really good review from The Gamer, that said, and it said, and it quote, I screenshot it because I thought it was really nice. I thought it was a really, really well written piece of text, and I think it illustrates the thing that I've been banging on about for the last year. I've been complaining about this for a year. 40k is at its best when it tries new things. Warhammer 40k shines brightest when it steps beyond the tabletop. The Secret Level episode featuring Space Marine 2 blends stunning visuals, compelling storytelling, and fresh creativity that pushes past the usual miniature marketing. With a unique villain and emotional depth, it's a must-watch for fans, and a reminder that 40k thrives when it dares to explore the unknown. Yeah. When it dares to explore the unknown. That really resonated with me, because I was like, yeah, funnily enough. And it would be the same thing with the miniatures if they dared to explore the unknown. Rather than just falling back on, well, do you know what? I think maybe if we just re-release these, but they're slightly taller and rounder, that'll make everyone happy. 40k model maker should read that review. Exactly, Random 13 Cinema. But that's the point, right? It's really exciting. 40k is so exciting when it's new and interesting and different and unknown. It's so cool. And like, these pieces of media beyond Warhammer 40,000, the tabletop video game, have been of such high quality. Right? So like Space Marine 2 is absolutely cracking. That Secret Level episode, absolutely cracking. It's so good, and it's so compelling, and it's such a rich universe and setting where there's so much potential and so many cool things. I adore it. We all adore it, I would assume. Like most of us here probably really love 40k. Where I have been disappointed with 40k in the last year has been the models. The models that have come out for it, by and large, have been uninteresting, because it's just been the same thing over and over and over and over again, but slightly taller and slightly rounder. And as long as that doesn't continue for the rest of 40k's lifespan, I will always keep coming back to it. Which is why, when the Eldari stuff was released, and I said this at the time, and I'll continue to say this, I'm excited for a Warp Spiders Phoenix Lord. Because it looks sick. It's one of the best 40k models that I've ever seen in my life. But then you have Asserman, or Asserman, or however you're supposed to say it, which is the exact same model again, but taller and rounder. And it's like, okay. Cool. You know? Not a 40k fan, but it's not 40k's fault. I'm just a high fantasy buff and don't care for sci-fi. That is absolutely fair. That is absolutely fair. Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you in that fashion at all either. I have long preferred high fantasy over sci-fi as well. Like, you know, Lord of the Rings. It's not high fantasy; it's just a fantasy, right? But Lord of the Rings is very formative of my tastes in nerddom. But I do love 40k, and it can be really inspiring and really exciting. And I love it when it is, and that's why it's like, you know, I see a lot of people being like, oh, you know, I've done this because of this thing. And you go, yeah, that's where the inspiration comes from, you know. I think people are more inspired by these OTT media offerings from the setting at the moment than they are by the game. Because the game is very much kind of focused on sort of very one small aspect of how you enjoy Warhammer 40k. Saw the Amazon update which spoke about stories. I like the sound of it if there's a number of different slats on the 41st millennium. Yeah, I mean, like, that's it, right? You can... Anthology shows work if it's meant to introduce you to the wider world of Warhammer 40,000. And it actually gives you kind of greater creative freedom in many ways, because if the story is only around for 45 minutes to an hour of an episode, you have to deal with that story within that episode. You don't 100% have to, but you kind of have to. You kind of wrap up those things, and it's very kind of succinct and to the point, and it allows you to escape certain tropes of cinema and TV by doing that. But yeah. What do you think about Saturday's made-to-order Marines? Yeah, perfectly fine. Perfectly fine Christmas release for those of you who want them. I have the Space Marine Heroes, so I won't be buying them. I also have that old Command Squad as well, so I won't be buying that either. As long as Amazon doesn't ruin it like they do everything else. I don't think that's strictly fair. Hey, Edward705. Any good tips for painting winter camo? Yeah, weirdly for painting winter camo, you're actually better off getting a really strong white down. So paint if you're going to paint, for example, like winter trousers, right? You want to get the trousers look a really strong white. You don't want to get it. You don't like it's harder to paint white camo onto black than it is to paint black camo onto white. So getting the white done right will help you go 5,000 steps, 100% more. So get that. Make sure you've got a really strong set of white details that you're going to put into camo, and then what you want to do for the actual camo itself is actually just kind of, you want to do these kind of elongated Ys, as in the letter Y, to get to and do those with the black. Fallout was decent. Well, exactly. Fallout was very good. I really enjoyed the Fallout show. And Secret Level's been pretty good. I also have enjoyed I've also really enjoyed Reacher on Amazon. Looking to get into basing. Any tips? Anything from the model on the base to supplies to base with? All I've done so far is just the technicals like Sterling Mud and Astro Granite. Well, yeah, I don't really enjoy basing, so I'm not the best person to ask. There's probably better people out there. I generally just use technical paints and dry brush them with Tyrant Skull. Will you be releasing a Christmas song, Warhipster? I mean, I can try. It won't be very good. There you go, Sly Guy 77. Have a chat with Travis. He'll tell you. Hopefully you get to be doing that painting video on how to Shalaxi Hellbane. Well, this is the question, isn't it? What would your Christmas song be about? That Christmas is a time for gifting memberships? don't know. I've been on a bit of a... I've been on quite a songwriting hiatus for a very long time. And that's because I haven't had a chance really to stop and think about something that would inspire me that I could write something valuable with, basically. I mean, that's ultimately what it comes down to with me in songwriting. I don't generally tend to write unless I feel like I'm getting something valuable out of it. So I don't know what a Christmas song I would write about necessarily would be, other than, you know, now this is the time of year to stop going to bed at 4 a.m. and to spend it with family and friends and loved ones. Goblin Horde, thank you for the 1 gifted Warhipster membership, and Mini Painting Dad for the 5 gifted Warhipster memberships. There it is. Thank you so much. What's that? That's 6 episode 437. There we go. Love to see it. Challenge you to write a song about the joy of gifting memberships. How would that go? That's good, Lord Billy. That is good. On the first day of Contrastmas. Well, it wouldn't be me. It would be Mini Painting Dad or Goblin Horde at the moment. Gifted a membership. You know. See, Lord Billy's writing it for me. Oh dear. Nice, Chris. I like it. Speaking of dry brush, do you have a comparison between Citadel black and white dry brushes? Not really. I mean, they kind of all do a job, don't they? Do they know it's Christmas cover for the kids of Cadia? Hey now. No, they don't, because they're all dead. Cadia stands. Don't know what you're talking about. But what about second Cadia? We've had one, yes. But what about second Cadia? The Universe has gifted 5 Warhipster memberships. Thank you very much, Universe. Legendary. Thank you so much. That's what I want for 2025. 40k narrative that bloody does something. Well, that chance would be a fine thing. That's a great username. That is a great username. You should do some more Stormcast. More Stormcast. No, because let's be real. YouTube doesn't like it when I do Stormcast. They just don't like it so much. I wish they did. The universe, to me, that is a sign at Warhipster that you are doing phenomenal. I feel like I'm doing very, very well. Anybody have any hobby New Year's resolutions? That is a great question there, Tabletop James. We're getting close to the time where I will start looking at what my goals for 2025 will be. And my goals for 2024 were mostly unachieved at the moment. We have actually done 50 YouTube live streams. That is a thing that we did. And I'm not sure how many YouTube videos I've done of the 150 of the tasks that I set myself to do. What I haven't done is most of it. So I set myself targets of things like finish. Oh no, I did. I finished the Hallowed Knights. Finish a Rohan army and finish a Minas Tirith army. I'm this close to doing the Minas Tirith army. But I haven't done it yet. Paint 600 models. Obviously, we're working on that. 75,000 YouTube subscribers. We're working on that as well. Could you say in the videos when you use a contrast paint that would be the equivalent in a base or layer paint, please, if we don't have the specific colour? As in, what do you mean? Do you mean like, next up we're going to be using some Blood Angels Red, but if you don't have any Blood Angels Red, you can use some Mephiston Red, reshade it with some Agrax Earthshade, then relayer it with Mephiston Red, and then we'll do the highlights at the end together. I mean, my answer to your question there, Peter, is I can't do that, no. Not with every colour. Because the video will be really long. Most of it will be me talking. And loads of people will hate that. And also that it's not strictly going to work that way all of the time. If you see what I mean. There are some colours that are just not close. My hobby resolution is to learn to highlight properly. It's a good one. Music Mad is similar. Would 2025 be a good year to try do the AOS Apocalypse game you wanted to do, or would that maybe be a 2026 goal? Yeah, so that is 2025. It is my goal to do that. Is the AOS Apocalypse game? I do want to do it next year. That in order to do that. I'm actually already pretty close to being able to knock off one part of that. For the Chaos side, it's like 1,000 points. Something like that I need to paint. Well, there's two ways I can do it, right? So because I have nearly 10,000 points of Stormcast, my idea was to kind of just do Stormcast for the Forces of Order. But to do for Forces of Chaos, there's two ways I can do it. I can either pack out a little bit more of my Slaves of Darkness, or do a bunch of models for the Maggotkin, the Blades of Khorne, the Hedonites, and the other ones, Disciples of Tzeentch, to get those to sort of 8,000, and then have 2,000 points of Skaven in there. So it's a real kind of mishmash of chaos. But I feel like I want to kind of keep it even in terms of the amount of armies that are featured on either side. That way it's less cerebral for whoever's in command of them. 10,000 points of clan rats. No, that would never happen in any universe ever. I'm perfectly content with the 170 points or whatever it is of it I have. How many points are clan rats these days? Where are we? Skaven. MacGyver. 150 points for 20 of them. Yeah, so 300 points of clan rats. Yeah, perfectly happy. I'm resolving to paint bigger models. Ionis, Kairos, and that big gut ripper thing. Oh, Gobsprak. The Mouth of Mork. And the Fist of Gork. In the form of Gordrak. I've been using your guides to paint Admech and working on Taraxi and struggling a bit with level of detail. Do you think you'll ever do a guide for them or ways to simplify the wings? Which ones are the Taraxi? Oh, those ones. The Sky Stalkers. I mean, based on what I'm looking at, it's Skeleton Horde. And you're done. Oh, Skeleton Horde on the inside, Black Legion on the outside. Silver for the spines. Silver of your choice, whatever you're doing the rest of them in. Yeah, that's how I do them. Peter Stories and Reviews, thank you for the $2.99. Thanks for everything you do. That's very kind of you, thank you. Thank you very much, I appreciate that. I wonder if I can do a... Shall we see? Do a thing. It is December after all. Yeah. It's a Christmas gift to chat. Have 5 gifted memberships. See if we can turn some of those grey names green. There you go. See, now we're 3 away from 450. That feels achievable. Oh. Don't forget to like the video, says Black Hole Eyes. He is absolutely correct, guys. If you haven't already, please do leave a like on the video, on the stream. It is a free way to support me. There's the free way. I know it's an expensive time of year. So if you leave a like on the stream, that is the free way to do it. Because a like means that more people will find the stream, and then they'll subscribe to the channel, hopefully, if they find me endearing and debonair and handsome and hilarious and talented and useful. Too many nice words. Annoying, overweight. Always has a stupid spot on the end of his nose, and it's really distracting for everyone involved. That's better. I've leveled myself out there. Is everyone else's Instagram and that broken today? Because mine's been busted. I tried to post a story earlier and it just didn't work. And my phone is like, Wait, Josh has a beard? No. No, this is just chin. It's, you know, it's hard chin there. When's the Hill Tribesman Guide dropping? Tomorrow or Friday. There are 3 more videos yet to come from War of the Rohirrim. It is the Rohan House. Have I shown you guys the Rohan House? I did it in like 7 or 8 paints. I was really pleased with it. It came out really nicely. Have I shown this to you? So, there is painting videos for General Targ, for the Hill Tribesman, and for this bad boy. What are the measurements of the Rohan house? That is a good question. One that I can probably find the answer to if I can find my tape measure. I do have a little one. I do. Do you plan on a video about some of the paints that have been discontinued, like Canoptek Armor Shade, and what to use instead? I can try and put something like that together. So it's about 4 inches tall, like that, up to the top of from base to the top of the horse. It is about. Oh no, I can do it that way. It's almost 5 inches wide, that ways, from here to there, and then lengthways is about 5 inches long. So 5 by 5 by 4, basically. If you build it in this configuration, you don't have to build it in this configuration. There is another house in the box. I've only done this one. I will do the other one at some point, but I only done this one for the video. You can build it in completely different configurations. So you can put you can put that, for example, this kind of the porch. You can put it on the end, or you can put it right at the edge, or you can put it right in the middle, or whatever. There's lots you can do with it. It's a very modular kit. It's very cool. Looks like a historical's house, does it? I assume that is a compliment. I was really pleased with how that came out. I think it looks great. Again, just really keeping it really simple on this one. It's mostly shades. The receipt also says it has gone to Warhipster. Damn it, YouTube, why you make more work? Did you give some memberships, GameX? Thank you. It hasn't told me that you have. And I'm sorry if YouTube's being a butt about it. Just going to put it there. I'm not going to try and get it around the corner. Oh, you did 5. Well, thank you, GameX. I'll update it. I'll update this. It's not handing them out either, and I'm very confused. It might be that it's just something to do with the payment is delayed. YouTube is funny about that sometimes. Yeah, talk to them. What they'll probably do is they'll probably just refund you. It's usually what they do. You need to get a Geralt model and put a horse on the roof of that house. I could. It's saying Warhipster gifted 5 on my screen. I did. I gifted 5. I was able to give a Christmas gift of 5. Trying to snipe some of your grey names. Give you the gift of Discord. But yeah, to finish that thought about MESBG, because apparently my mind is more wondersome than usual. No, it's gone again. No, there are 3 more painting videos left to go. There's the Rohan House, there's the Hill Tribesman, and there is General Targ. All those videos will be coming out Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then it is Rattlings and the Wrecker Crew for the Brutal and Cunning box. They'll be coming out. Those painting videos will be coming out. And then after that, that has been part of the question tonight. Well, we know Saviours of Cinderfall is one of them. You also know that Fulgrim Transfigured is one of them. The other 2, I think, as chat is mostly focused on, is Shalaxi Hellbane and Gordrak, the Fist of Gork. Oliver, thank you for the $4.99. I got a bounce, but just something to say thanks for all the great guides. That's very kind of you. Thank you, Oliver. I hope you have a good rest of your evening. What do you think about the new Old World Wizards, and did you snag Dushard when it was back in stock the other day? No, I tried, and it told me, no, sorry, it's not in stock. I saw that it was in stock, and tried to buy it, and then Games Workshop sent me an email saying, actually, this wasn't in stock. Soz. But I thought the new Old World Wizards were very cool. I thought they were very cool. I'm a bit confused as to why they didn't lead with any of these new models. They just led with all of the old stuff, and it's like, hey, look at all the exciting models returning. It's like they've only been gone like 9 months. 9-10 months. They've not been gone long at all. Like, this isn't really cause for celebration, but fine, it is what it is. And they had all these new ones that they were sitting on that they didn't preview, and it was a bit strange. Jack Osborne, thank you very much for becoming a member. That puts us on 453, including GameX's mysterious disappeared 5, which we will count. If you guys aren't careful, I think I'm going to start thinking you're shooting for 500. But yeah. So as I was saying, there are 5 guaranteed videos coming. Number 6 I'm working on now, and number 7 is Fulgrim Transfigured. 8 and 9, yeah, we're probably going to go with Gordrak and Shalaxi Hellbane. I could probably start building Gordrak now, to be fair. I have him. He's here. I don't have his base or the instructions, though. I don't know where they've gone. Did you ever use Citadel Gem technical paints? Yeah, occasionally. I still have them. I have some of them. What's really weird is I still have some of the glaze paints as well. I have Soulstone Blue. And the red one. Bloodletter. No, that's the glaze. Spirit Stone Red is the other one I have. Any advice with them? Always put them over metallics for them to really work. Don't shade the metallics either. A really bright metallic will always work for you. If you want to go for a warmer gem, like on a red or a green, no, not the green. Oh, no, green can work. Do it over Liberator Gold, and if you want a really nice bright blue gem, do it over Stormhost Silver, something like that. I need to go to sleep now. Last day before Christmas vacation. Have a good night, Josh and other folk. Good night, Black Hole Eyes. Have a good sleep. What paint scheme would you paint your Death Core of Krieg, including the Death Riders? So my plan, because we've done them before, but my plan is to do the 5th Siege Regiment. Which look like they're the brown ones, basically. So let's see if we can pull this up. Da, 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 da. These ones here on the right, top right, 5th Siege Regiment. Those guys up there. How about painting some Deepkin? Maybe sharks, eels, or Leviathan. Leviathan's a big job. Deepkin are on the list of things that I need to do because I haven't done very many of them. I'm more inclined to try and do some more of them when their battle tome comes out, because I don't have any of the models. They're one of the ranges that I don't have anything in stock of, because I've done so few of them on the channel. We've done 2 Deepkin videos, and one of them was the Black Talons, which is a Stormcast video, and Cyrene's Razors. It's a case of I don't. Well, like I said, I don't have them, so I will try and do some closer to the time when the battle time comes out. We'll have to see what happens, because then it's relevant. Try and give it all of the best. Try and give it the greatest chance for success. Because generally speaking, when you paint something that's completely out of context of what's going on in the wider world of Warhammer, it doesn't do very well as a video, and it does even less well if it's a Age of Sigmar one. As an example, during Project Spearhead's first part, doing things like the the Chaos Chariot as an example. They're not videos that do particularly well. It's a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of effort to paint a model for a video that won't do very well. And I've got to consider that as part of my production time. So I know that there is I am aware that there is a complete lack of Ideneth videos on my channel, and there needs to be some. But I want to do them at a time when it's most impactful, basically. See you later, Sly Guy 77. But there we go. I am but one man. I did think, though, maybe next year. Next year might be the time that I try and find somebody to kind of do older models in a part-time basis for the channel. I have to sit and look at the finances and all that, but it might be conceivable that next year, if we continue on the pace of growth that we're on, and if things pick up a little bit, because they have slowed down, because weirdly, well, I mean, it's not weird, but because the battle because the War of the Rohirrim hasn't happened yet, and we've done a lot of MESBG videos for a box that nobody has. Those videos haven't done very well, and because they haven't done very well, the algorithms doesn't like me very much. GameX, thank you for the 5 gifted Warhipster memberships. They have come through at long last. There you go. There we go. Thank you so much, GameX. We've already counted you. Boo, 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 boo. They cancelled and refunded, so redone. Success at last. There we go. That is some quick customer service right there. You love to see it. Those MESBG videos will probably have a long tail, though. That's my hope. That is my hope. That as the box starts to get into people's hands, people will pick up those videos down the line. It might be that once the film is out and the box is in people's hands, that they start to do better. Will they explode in views? Maybe, who knows? We'll have to find out. I've never had that happen, but you know, there's time. There's always time for. There's always possibilities. There's always, you know, stranger things have happened. But as an example, the Prince Haleth video that came out yesterday is my worst performing video of the last 6 months of all time. 6 months. But there we are. Oh. I watched it and I don't even own any MESBG. You are doing a very good job selling me on it as well. That's my job. That's what we do. Everyone should like MESBG. If not to collect, but at least to look at. Hit up an emergency Space Marine lieutenant. Oh, well. I don't think the channel needs any more how to paint Blood Angels lieutenants. I mean, you can always deploy a Space Marine video, but at a certain point, it's like the I don't want the content to appear really cynical, and like there are things that are important to me. Obviously, you know, one is that the videos are good and that people are finding them useful and enjoying them. But the other thing that's important is that it's like it's not just like you know, it's not just like fodder for the wrong type of growth, as it were. And just deploying Space Marine Space Marine videos constantly, it's kind of false in that way, in that respect, you know. It's like, you know, it's like putting out a lore video about the next returning Primarch. Everyone does it, and it's because those gain the most views. And it's like there's no new information there. It's just it's a bit cynical, and I try not to do that. Try to keep it current with what people are currently doing that might be of interest. So, you know, Project Spearhead, as an example, was a bit of an experiment, and it sort of worked and sort of didn't in times. But Spearhead was all anyone could talk about because AOS 4 was on the way, so it felt logical at that time to make a bunch of Spearhead videos. So we did. Dad is working on Zenestra at the moment and struggling to work out what material of the floor of the palanquin is, and therefore what colour/texture should he paint it. Pontifex Zenestra. My shoulders. I have bad shoulders. I went for wood on mine. It looks like it's stone though at times, because it's not got the same, like, so so for example, so that I went for wood in there, but you see these little nicks and scrapes in it. It's not got the same kind of the grain of the wood like you've got along here. It does look a little bit more like stone, but I went for brown on mine. What a gloriously silly model this is. See you later, tattooed zoologist. I've forgotten how brilliant that is. Pontifex Zenestra is an absolutely beautiful model, and it's insane, and it's crazy, and it's weird, and it's completely overshadowed by so many of the other things that came out in the Cities of Sigmar range. Things like, what's her name? Talia Vedra, the Command Squad, the Ogre Warhulk as well is another one that completely overshadowed it in terms of popularity. But it's just it's a delightfully silly model. There we go. Warhammer microphones, brought to you by Warhipster. I should really put that back. I can't remember exactly which brown I used, Chris, but it looked like Seigel brown to me. Or it could have been Wildwood. It's one of those two. I'm not sure. Something like floor tiles. Yeah, floor tiles would work. You could go for a ceramic floor tile. Black and white alternating. Maybe like white large tiles and with black black bordering. That would work for Zenestra. Currently working on my last third of my 3 Kassakin kill teams for my kill team tournament on Sunday. It's my first kill team tournament ever, and my second tournament ever. Hoping to go 2-2. 2-2 is a good strong performance. There's a good strong performance. Evens on or positive. Always a good. I believe in you though. I think you can go 3-1. I think 3-1 is entirely possible there. And the Kassakin models are very cool. I would jump into them, having just done the Rattlings, in order to complete a trio of Astra Militarum kill teams. Because I've done the Aquilons as well in the last 2 months, or however long Hivestorm came out. I can't face it at the moment. Like I said, we're just trying to get to 600 at the moment. But yeah, other things 2025 related. I'm hoping we get some news as to what's going to happen with demons this next year. Chaos demons in 40k. Can we see the Rattlings? You may. Let me get them up. Their bases are drying. I did them last night. They should be dry by now. I mean, I can finish them later. But I'll do that when it's closer to the video. There they are. The tops of their heads. So, as an example. There you go. And there you go. Need Ogre's refresh and new Eshin. For the Skaven. There's some more. There's some more. Including the famous ham sandwich. Oh. And a little doggy. As well as the... this is what I mean. We're at the last stage with them, really. So they just... It needs dry brushing and... tuftage. But yeah, that was the last 14 models that we worked on. We're going to know when we get the first Chaos God book if they have demons in them. Is that the end of the standalone? Although I don't know where Be'lakor goes. Well, see, that's why I still think we are going to still see a Chaos Demons Codex, because Be'lakor would have been in the Chaos Space Marines book if it was going to be that way. But it's still possible at this point that it could happen. It might be that Be'lakor just ends up in every God Legion book and then has an FAQ where he can be used in Chaos Space Marines as well. And then has a balanced status slate later on that all demons can be used as part of a Chaos Space Marines, but you can only take 400 points of them. And you can't take this, and you can't take that, and you can't take this, and you can't take that. And then 6 months from then, there'll be another balanced status slate that lets you take whatever the hell you want based on whatever the feeling is out in the community that they've been robbed. And then there'll be another balanced status slate that will take that away. And at this point, you'll sit there and say, yeah, simplified, not simple. But they are getting... They've said in this Grotmus calendar thing, they're getting 4... Chaos Demons are getting 4 detachments. So... maybe it's not going to be also doom and gloom. But the interesting thing about that, though, is like if they're going to get 4 detachments, 1 to run each of the God Legions, 1 would assume, then maybe the main book, if it does come, and I suspect it's not coming for a long time, which is why they're getting 4 really straight up, is that the main book actually doesn't have those kinds of alignments in it, and it's still this kind of thing. Hey, in this one, Bloodletter's a battle line. How powerful. Well, they already battle line. Shut up. The only battle line option in Codex Chaos Demons is Furies. And in this detachment, Bloodletters become battle line. And in that one, Plague Bearers become battle line. Or worse, it'll be like the Cavalry become battle line options. That's not bad. You're not thinking about the shareholders enough. What about Nurglings? Do 40k get to use Nurglings? Yeah. Yeah, they do. At this point, like, half the data sheets in the Dark Angels Codex are now meaningless. I love the books, but if they're going to do updates like this, and I think they should, then it's digital time. Well... yeah, this is the question, is what is the value proposition for a codex now? And I would also say the same thing about an Age of Sigmar battle tome. There used to be quite a significant difference between an Age of Sigmar battle tome and a 40k codex. You got a lot of content in an Age of Sigmar battle tome. Because you got really succinct, really quite in-depth painting guides, for example, and a ton of the lore, because they were really trying to push that there is actually story and narrative behind everything in Age of Sigmar. And it generally didn't move that much. You didn't. Obviously, some stuff got FAQ'd here and there, and some things were changed, and points went up and points went down, and some things were gain and attack. But it wasn't anywhere near as egregious as it can be for 40k, where at the moment, AdMech completely different, Dark Angels completely different, Chaos Codex Space Marines now. You know, there's enough in there that's different. That is the question on everybody's lips, as always. There's only 2 pages of painting guide in the latest Slaves to Darkness battle tome. Really disappointed. Yeah, no, I that for me that is a big disappointment with all of these battle tomes so far. Is that has gone? Is the painting guide, and it's like the pages are right there. Just reprint them. You don't have to update them, really. Not very often. I've always... One of the things I have suggested and proffered and thought about in the past is that, realistically, this book, right, for example, this is Codex Blood Angels, right? So this is the Blood Angels Codex. This book shouldn't have any rules in it. And what it should be is... What should come in this book is a full narrative breakdown of who they are from inception to now, which it doesn't do anymore, because the lore part of this is from starting on page 6 and goes to page 41. So 35, that's your background in this book. And this is a 105 page book. And you get 35 pages of background. And then you get the model showcase, which is good, I guess. I like the model showcases. And then you're just into rules. And basically, no page numbers. What the hell is that all about? 38, 39. Almost a full half of this book is rules. And they're meaningless. Because it'll all just get reprinted and edited anyway. So I think a codex should basically be a full breakdown of who they are. I think you should have minimum 50 pages of lore and whatnot. And story and narrative about what they're up to, where they've been, all that kind of thing. What they're going, aspirations and aims, dreams, nightmares, all of that good stuff. That should all be in here. Then there should be a really, really comprehensive painting guide. And there should be included within these, as it always used to be a long time ago, in the Sigmar battle tomes. I think in first edition. And I'm sure that they did it in 40k as well at some point, is there should be narrative scenarios that you can play with that army. And that's it for rules, and then the rules are held digitally. That should be it in those books. And you maybe buy one every 5 years with updated stuff because the story moves on with extra details. But the story doesn't move on. So in the book is fully half of it is rules that are redundant 3 months after a book comes out. Because they've all been changed. You know? What I miss most from the codexes are the unit-specific narrative. Yeah, that kind of thing. But also just like an in-depth version of that. That is like the Coke Zero version of what a organization chart for the Blood Angels looked like before. So it's like the second company, the Blooded Battle Company, doesn't tell you what their colours are, doesn't tell you what their logo is, doesn't tell you who the captain is, doesn't tell you how it's organised. It used to tell you six tactical squads, 2 fire support squads, 2 assault squads, 2 devastator squads. And it used to tell you how many dreadnoughts were in the company as well. Oh. I didn't realise Brother Corbulo was in here. He is. He's just... You can't use him anymore. He doesn't have a model. They're just bad books now. Yeah, it's just they're not as. It's not as in depth as it used to be. And like that is not a satisfactory painting guide. Clearly, you know it, so it's not needed. Well. So then I shouldn't have to buy a book. But like that's the thing is there's they would become a compelling thing for me to purchase if they were really in depth, because then I would learn something from it. Nowadays, when an army, the only time I will buy a book is if I'm going to a tournament and I have to take a book with me to prove that I own the book. Do you see what I mean? So I don't own a copy of Codex Space Marines. I just don't own it. I only have that one because it came in the Blood Angels Army set box, which Games Workshop sent me. It's the same for the Dark Angels. I have the Dark Angels supplement, but I don't have Codex Chaos. I don't have Codex Space Marines. I don't have AdMech. I don't have Codex Necrons. All the Sisters. But I have them for 8th edition. I have loads of them for 8th edition. I've got your Gondor Warrior paint video and was wondering what base colour do you use. Also, have you done the Gondor Knight on Horse set yet? What do you mean, Gabriel? Do you mean what the primer is? The primer was Grey Seer, I believe. If you look up the Osgiliath video where I did all the Warriors of Minas Tirith and the Rangers of Gondor, Faramir, Damrod, and Madril, and the Rangers of Gondor, it's in there. Adam Dixon, I'm new here. What's with the Baneblade fundraiser? Well, because people want me to paint a Krieg Baneblade. But I don't have the money for it. So if people really want to see a Krieg Baneblade, then they can super chat to see it happen. So we can buy it and then we can do it. That's the deal. Basically. And also to answer your question, Gabriel, I haven't done the Gondor, the Knights of Minas Tirith yet. They're on the list. Well, they're on the army list, along with the Guards of the Fountain Court and the Citadel Guard, Gandalf the White, Hurin the Tall, Ingold of the Ramseckel, and Pippin. Speaking of useless books, I'm sat here with my 3rd edition Flesh Eater Court Special Edition book. Why? Well, yeah. It's a beautiful book, though. There's loads of really cool lore in that book. But yeah. What do you want to see next for MESBG? I want to see the Riders of Rohan and the Rohan Royal Knights get a new plastic miniature. First and foremost. But what I would also like them to do is redo the Uruk-hai, the Morannon / Mordor Orcs, and the Warriors of Minas Tirith. Just to add a little bit more a little bit more pizzazz into it, because I think like the easiest prediction one in the world can make is that Freyalaf, Helm Hammerhand, and Hera are all going to get new models. I mean, Freyalaf and Hera are sort of new characters in many ways. I'd like to see that happen for Rohan. And then I would also like to see the Warriors of the Last Alliance, so the High Elves of Rivendell and all that, of Lindon, basically, get redone as well. And that would include the Men of Numenor. Hopefully, a redone version of Elendil and Isildur, but, And weirdly, I kind of want a new Aragorn, the King model. Didn't they announce Hera? Yeah, they announced Hera, the Bride of Death, which is one version of her in the book. So when it's something you like, you're okay with remade minis. So I'm going to slightly caveat this a little bit. With MESBG, yes. Because MESBG, you can't just invent new things for it. Because you're working from limited text. So you are limited by what is possible within the story. So yeah, you could see them like step even further back to the time of the War of the Silmarils, and you could see things like Feanor and Morgoth, not Morgoth because that would be a bit intense, but you could see things like that come into plastic and this, that, and the other. You could see all of that sort of thing happen. However, you are still only limited by what is in those books. Whereas for Warhammer 40,000 and Age of Sigmar, they are not limited at all by their books. They can do literally anything they want. Basically. Just poking some fun. No, it's fine. But I will explain myself. When do you think we'll see a box like War of the Rohirrim, but with the evil faction being orcs or goblins or some other non-human faction? Well, I would guess that the next MESBG big box will be about 2 years from now. Generally, it's Pelennor Fields. When was that released? When was Pelennor Fields released? Battle of Pelennor Fields box set. It was released in 2018, 6 years ago. And Osgiliath was 2 years ago, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, September 5th, 2022. So I would guess that another MESBG big box will be 2 years from now, so 2026. I hope we get Eru Iluvatar as a mini. Let's just throw all the Valar in, shall we? Let's do that. I actually just subscribed to you a few days ago. Your work is very good. Also, have you made any videos of making Lord of the Rings style bases for the minis? Not specifically, no. I haven't done that. I'm not the best at basing because I hate it. So I get it done as quickly as possible. So I usually just use Sterling Mud and dry brush it with Tyrant Skull. Go from there. Are you excited for the new 28 Years Later movie? Kind of. I don't get as excited for movies as I used to. Because I don't really go to the cinema anymore. And I do... Sometimes I miss going to the cinema. And other times I'm glad I don't. Because... it's generally, I mean, look, Wolverine and Deadpool's already on Disney Plus, right? It's been on there for like 2-3 weeks. So it's like, it just comes out on stream. It's just so much easier to sit at home and watch it on my nice telly and not have to see people. So it's like, yeah, I want to watch 28 Years Later, but it won't be enough to drive me to the cinema to go and watch it. So, yeah, I'm more likely to the other. I mean, we're going to the cinema on Friday to watch Lord of the Rings because I have to see it day of release because I'll just be very, very upset if I don't. And the other film that I'm likely to want to go and see in the cinema is Across the Spider-Verse Part 2 or whatever it's called, because I really loved. The first two. Would buying the Osgiliath box be silly at this point? Sort of, and sort of not. You're getting really nice terrain, and you're getting a great start to a Gondor army, and a great start to a Mordor army. The book of the rules in there is not a million miles different from what's just come out, but we are in a new edition. So the rules are out of date in that box. However, from a minis perspective, it is a good box. And it won't be on sale for much longer. And, well, on Saturday it will completely disappear, one would think. When are you planning to put the Ratling and Orc painting guides up? Next week, Captain. It will be next week. The MESBG ones are going to come out tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We'll have a little break on Sunday, and then the Ratling and Orc videos will come out next week. What about that big terrain set for lots for city building? Yeah. No, that's a good box. That is a good box. The thing as well about the Osgiliath terrain is that it's incredibly modular. You could build one giant structure out of all of those ruins and manas that are in that box. Just one. You could build one gigantic structure out of all of that. It all goes together. It all works together. It all works. The tower doesn't. It sits separately. But there's what? Is it 5 ruins? Is it 5 ruins, 3 manas? Is that what's in that box? Ba-da-ba-now. Yeah. 3 manas, 5 ruins. So yeah, you can build some truly spectacular structures out of all of that. Because it is all, like I said, it's all very, very, very... It is very, very modular. And it all fits together. And if you do buy that, there is a video... There's 2 videos on the channel. How to paint the ruins and the mana and the tower. So I've got you covered when it comes to the painting. I'm not sure how much it is. It's 245 euros apparently in the rest of the world. For some reason, I'm in in 195 pounds for all of that. I do kind of want to buy it, but I also don't need to because I have a mana. If I bought 2 manas, I would have the same as what's in that box, basically. Do you have a Flash Gits paint guide yet? Coming soon is the Wrecker Mob, which are kind of close, but not really. There'll be some ideas in that, though, you can use to paint the Flash Gits. Hello, Jungle Camper. Like the stream for a nice number. Yeah, we're on 68, I think. I can't decide if I want it vibrant or dark like the new armor sets they have. Well, I've kind of got you covered quite well for orcs. You know, we've got things like the Ard Boys video. Soon there will be a Brutes video for AUS. That would be give you the bright yellow for orcs. I would use the same recipe across both for yellow. Gordrak. We're going to be doing Gordrak. I have the sprues here. Here they are. The cabbage. And Gordrak himself. What do you think about the Great Eagles? I think they're nice models. Basically. There's not a lot else to say about them. I think they're nice. I'd do them, but yeah. Cabbage Dragon, exactly. This year I really need to finish a proper, because I thought I had it done, right? I had 2,000 points of Auric Warclans, and then the 9th edition, not 9th edition, the 4th edition book dropped and separated Iron Jaws and Cruel Boys, so there's no longer Big War. They've told us that's coming back in a new battle tome. It'd be interesting to see how that works. But this year, I really ought to finish 2,000 points of one of them so that I have a destruction army done. Because I have death, I don't have destruction, I have plenty of chaos, and I have plenty of order, but I don't have any destruction armies finished. So I really ought to do it. Maybe that's a 2025 goal. Is to do either the Iron Jaws or the Cruel Boys. Played a surprisingly close game of AOS this evening. My Skaven against Lumineth Realm Lords lost as expected, but it was close. It's good work, Skaven against Lumineth. Was it an all-shooting Lumineth as well? Make a Sons of Bahamut army. Yeah, I mean... I have King Brod, and that's it. Well, that's not true. I do have a Krakenik and Mega Gargant, which I need to strip. Because I started filming it, then we moved house, and it didn't look right in the footage. So I just have this half-painted Mega Gargant. How do you strip a mini? I use methylated spirits to strip a mini. Because it's cheap. Doesn't work on resin, though. Don't use methylated spirits on resin. It works, but it also melts resin. Don't do that. As Lumineth Realm Lords goes, it was a fairly balanced list, so not soul-crushing to play. Nice! The army I want to play the most at the moment in AOS is Flesh Eater Courts, because I really love my Flesh Eater Courts, and I've got some bits I need to paint for them, but I have an army that I can use, which is pretty spicy. I have an additional 3 Morbeg Knights I can do to take me up to 9, and I have another set of Crypt Guard I can do to take me up to 30 of them, and I have another 20 ghouls. So I've got 30, 33, and then I've got 2 Terrorgeists as well. And that will conclude the Flesh Eater Courts. But, as I said, it's not a priority at the moment, because I do already have a pretty spicy list that I can use that's very, very good. It's very, very strong. And I want to use it more, but... for that, it would require me to go to an event, I suspect. And get bullied by people. What is your favourite army to play against in AOS? Blades of Khorne. I really like playing against Blades of Khorne because it is an absolute... It's just such a brawl. It's so fun. And I always feel like it's fairly well balanced. If my buddy Chris was watching this, he would slap me around the face. We played a massive game of Blades of Khorne versus Stormcast, and we used one of the narrative scenarios that was in the Blades of Khorne battle tome, which was Skulls for the Skull Throne. And that was a scenario based on killing characters. So basically, you rolled a number, you rolled your dice, and on blah 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 blah, you nominated a character, and that would be the one that would be the target for your opponent. And when he did it, he rolled for my Lord Relictor, which sat at the back of my army, protected by so many Stormcast. And when I did it, it was just things like a Bloodsecrator. And I got really lucky. It was just like all these heroes that had to come towards me, that I would be able to just, I would just murder them. What's the max size picture we can submit for Tails? Just finished some Moran Orcs for the bad part of my submission, then got an Xmas part, and then I might get some greater good done too. There's no max size for the pictures. It all goes onto a PowerPoint slide, basically. So, you know, whatever 16 by 9 is generally the ratio that works in the PowerPoint slide. Have you ever used acrylic ink? I haven't, Maureen. No. No, I can't think of a time I have. I've only ever really used these Citadel Vallejo, a bit of Too Thin Coats, and Army Painter acrylics. They're acrylics, aren't they? And contrast paints, naturally. But yeah. Anyway. It is 10:31, ladies and gentlemen, which means we have been streaming for 2 hours, which means we have come to the end of our Wednesday stream. So, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. You have 3 more MESBG tutorials to come this week in the form of the Hill Tribesman, General Tar, and the Rohan House. They will all be coming out tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. Don't know what order yet, but they will be coming out in that. They'll be coming out on those days. And then next week there will be the Rattlings and the Wrecker Mob. And in the intervening time, I shall be working on other miniatures. You guys have asked me to do Shalaxi Hellbane and Gordrak, the Fist of Gork. That seems to be the general consensus on what we're going to do. So we're going to be working on those. And then we shall be working on Fulgrim Transfigured at long last as model number 600 on the year. And then a very tired and sleepy Warhipster will shuffle off into bed for maybe 2 days straight. But thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight, guys. I will be back live on Monday, I am sure. And, of course, on Wednesday next week. And then that'll be the last Wednesday stream of the year next week. So bring your your A game next Wednesday, because it will be Christmas the following Wednesday. And I won't be going live on Christmas Day because it's Christmas Day. We will be on New Year's Day, but not Christmas Day. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys. I will see you all very soon in the next one. Here is the hand of farewell. I shall wave it at you until I press the end stream button. Bye for now. Love you guys. Bye.